Oh my, we got really colorful this week. We're gonna start things off with the Prism Break Les Paul Standard. It's got a little bit of Thin Lizzy in it, but as the name suggests, it's like you're looking at a kaleidoscope. And if that wasn't enough, they gave you purple pickup rings. But I think my favorite thing about this has to be the fact that all the colors that we're seeing are metallic. You can see that's a blue sparkle with a green sparkle. That might actually be a flat, but it looks like the lines are probably metallic. This thing would probably be insane in person. They threw the see-through knobs on there just for good measure. I was kind of expecting to have matching tuner tips or something, but it looks like our headstock was spared from any additional treatment, as was the back. Our next one sold quickly too is one of the new Firebird platypus models called Winter Wood. What's everyone's favorite custom color Gibson? Peplum blue. What do people like about Firebirds? Being neck through, and even though the new platypus model is not technically neck through, they just kind of blended that with the natural hue in the center. I like it, but I enjoy the whole center stripe thing on many of electric guitars. Threw some witch hats on there, Bigsby B5, and oh, a little bit of extra fun up top. With an old-timey blue Gibson logo and a wooden truss rod cover to match the center stripe, and oh, are we seeing something interesting on the side of the headstock? I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping maybe they would have did the natural stripe down here, but what a fascinating idea here. It's kind of like the Dire Wolf that we had reviewed, where this probably started life the natural finish, and they just taped it off and then sprayed blue over top. So what we have here is kind of a binding effect, but it's actually multi-ply. It's not just that big bare area. You can see they've got another area of our new blue, and then the side of our headstock also has a stripe. But I was not expecting this. They did the exact same thing right here along our binding, and then they formed that into a stinger formation. This one lived up to its name, Dreamy Pink 61SG. I would say that's very classy. It's not too hot and in your face, and the black plastics complement it beautifully. It looks like the edge might even be black, but I'm thinking that's probably just our photos. But at least our headstock adds some more ebony. And oh, okay, they did that again on this one, but this time without the additional lining of it. Not really a big fan of it here. Next, wow, I thought that was a standard. It's a studio in Gilded saddle burst. So it's one of the newer ones that has the binding along our fretboard in cream, but it looks like they just exposed the maple cap over here and then installed this new almost gold burst-like finish with a little bit of tobacco burst built in, and then gave it the gold hardware. And if that's not enough, you also get the metal knurled knobs over here. But you can't call it old saddle without giving a country headstock. Old-timey cowboy Gibson logo. That looks pretty nice. And then another one with a stinger. So a really pale natural finish, and then, ooh, maybe this is where the saddle brown's coming from. I'm digging that metallic brown finish on the back. And a la Randy Rhoads, we've got some brass backplates. When I read the title of this one, I've got a couple of guitar chords in my head, but just looks like a really red Les Paul Standard, fantastic flame top, and they also gave this one the golden hardware treatment just to make it look way different than anything else that's currently offered by Gibson, outside of that root beer Les Paul Standard. But oh, that's not my editing error, it's just cut off at the top right there. Happens to the best of us. That's just a great cherry hue. There was also Whitewater Wash as a 1964 style 335 reissue. It's a nice light teal finish. You get a trapeze style tailpiece on it, ABR1 bridge. Looks like chrome hardware, but we're going to have the natural neck yet with our small block inlays, and the crown inlay on our headstock, with the continuation of that finish on the back and the edges. There was also an Explorer Custom in what they called Ruby Sunday. That's gonna catch your attention. We've got our witch hat knobs, uncovered pickups, but there's never been a color scheme on this that's made me notice how really badly shaped the Explorer pick guards are for these customs. I mean, they're not centered, they nearly cover over the binding a bit, but yet if we actually made it equidistant here, it would probably look so bizarre. That's probably why they leave it. This reminds me of the Sammy Hagar Red Rocker Explorer, just customified and custom shopped. But ooh, very nice. That's a metallic red. That's sweet. But hey, how about Starry Moonlight 56 reissue Les Paul? We've got all sorts of colors going on here. Primarily blue with maybe a little bit of a speckling of red. We've got some blacks, some silver. You can see a whole bunch of stuff, but it's definitely a little bit on the darker side. That's pretty gorgeous. And they accent that even more so by utilizing our black plastics. Not only on our P90 pickups, but also the witch hat knobs, which we're seeing everywhere. And oh yes, look at that headstock. Oh man, it's just all kinds of messed up. So not only do we have the matching color, but it's the low Gibson logo, so that is correct for the era that they're trying to reissue. But then they paired that with the abnormally low Les Paul model silkscreen. So to somebody that doesn't understand Gibson's history at all, they probably think somebody goofed. But hey, I appreciate them leaving the historic truss rod cover on it. And oh man, not even the back plates were spared on this one, just completely sprayed over. Our neck is also matching, as is the back of the headstock. And then this photo seems to suggest that the edges are also the same, especially seeing the tortoiseshell colored side markers. The red offers a nice contrast, and I was really excited to see this. We got the Aian Tiger. At first glance, it's just very different. I thought it was dark blue, but no, you gotta really zoom in here. It's actually a purple center with what looks like a matte blue edge, which is quite unique for an SG. You've got the white plastics to pop everything, a metal switch tip, no poker chip. Since this is a 24 fret SG, we don't even have to have a tenon cover. Very nice. And that's because this is a modern SG. That means we're going to have the real true mother of pearl inlays. And they even give our headstock a nice light blue tint. But the back does not appear to have the purple in the center. It's just all that satin blue. Maybe not as fun as the Dire Wolf, but still a tasty guitar. Then lastly, we don't see proper custom shop Firebirds in the mod collection hardly at all, but this one is Burgundy Brandy. 6500 might be a tough sell on this one. One pickup, just a custom color going on. I know we've got a lot of room left in that pickup cavity mod collection. Can't we throw like a burst driver circuit in it just for fun or something? Nah, just our single Firebird pickup with a wrap tail piece, as is usual on a Firebird 1. But they at least did a matching headstock, right? Yes, indeed. And credit where credit's due. It's a full gloss refinish. But now the European mod collection, they're actually having a sale. I think that says 15% off. So if any of the old things interested you, and you're in the market where these guys ship, feel free to check that sale out. I know the Electron Purple's kind of cool, but a lot of these other ones, I can see why they're still there. But I get a lot of hate comments on the mod collection videos saying, who would ever buy this stuff? That's the beauty of the mod collection. They don't have to worry about the sellability of it because it's just a one-off. They only have to appeal to one person. And if it takes a long time to find that one person, then they know to say, hey guys, let's not do anything like this again. But for the most part, it seems the mod collection guys just have free reign to do whatever they want. Or maybe there's certain guys within the program that have that clearance, and then the other ones have to keep things more basic. I was just trying to create a story to show you all the ones that are here. But wow, I didn't realize that there were so many different ones. I've run out of things to say, but that's okay. Looks like we finally got to the modern photo style. Where, wow, even our new ones are on that 15% off sale. This is Dewdrop Orange. Looks like a regular SG that they threw a Bigsby on. You got your single ply black pick guard, which complements your headstock and the whole blacked out tuner situation. But then flipping it over to the back, you get more of that continued burnt orange hue. Now here's a fun name, the Rustic Bumblebee. I can see how it got its name. It reminds me of the stripes on a bee, yellow and black. And hey, there we go. We got the old-timey Gibson logo done up in silver. It looks like a satin refinish. And then you get the continuation of the multi-colorings with the natural neck and black back. But wow, metallic navy, that's gorgeous. Let's make that a standard color, Gibson. That is 100% a knockout. I think it would also look good with cream plastics, but the black makes it a lot darker. But again, our theme this week was witch hats on everything. Let's see, matching headstock? Maybe, yeah. It does. It's just very dark blue. I can see why that found a home really quickly. But now, the Gibson USA demo shop. They had a couple of cool ones, like this 1957 Les Paul Standard reissue in a sparkle top orange hue. It reminds me a lot of that candy apple orange Stratocaster that we reviewed once. And I like that it doesn't have the aniline dyes on the back. Then there was a pretty cool 64 reissue style Pelham Blue SG Standard with the Vibrola. And hear me out on this one, another Warren Haynes in the demo shop, which is a 50s Les Paul Standard, but in 60s cherry. But look at that! My goodness, that is fantastic wood grain. I wish that could have been my review and demo piece. Reminds me of the Dusk Tiger, where they actually put tiger stripes on the back, but this is all natural wood stuff. That's a winner that someone needs to pick up. Similarly, the 60 Standard is relatively unassuming on the front, but then flip it over to the back, you got Flameage City. We had another one of those Tri-Burst 59 reissues, but the reason I saved this one is I thought the back looked particularly orange. Like, I don't think that was the intended. I think the wood just naturally had a little bit more of an orange hue. This is a crazy deal. 40% off. Now, I get it. $10,000 is very expensive for these Carina Vs to start with, but, you know, if you don't mind the Inverness green or you want a refinish project to do it whatever you want, it could speak to the very right person, but that seems like a fair price for one of these. Now, the reason why it's so cheap is kind of why I brought up the whole refinish thing. There's just a little bit of ugliness by the frets due to fret sprout, and you've got that typical line forming where the neck joins to the body. That is not structural in the slightest, but it is confirmed to be Carina. We have the continuation of TV White showing up, this time on a 57 reissue, looking nice as always. And perhaps the classiest Les Paul of all time, the true 57 Black Beauty with triple pickups and the Bigsby B7. Fantastic. We had some more custom shop Firebirds drop here. This one was your usual color with some nice wood grain for $47.99. And then I thought $5,500 for a double gold Les Paul custom, that seemed like a pretty decent price. And then as you continue to scroll through all these photos, you see, oh wow, Black Stinger too? That's a whole lot of fun. And okay, your eyes were not playing tricks on you. It does indeed have an ebony side. So black and gold working together, I like it. But then you can see finish checking occurred, so I could see how somebody wouldn't want that. But then what is this? Must be the whole case situation again. The finish got chipped and then they attempted to touch it up. And this Les Paul Supreme in Fireburst just looks so different without a pick guard and cream plastics. That was a must share just due to that. I don't know if it's good and I don't know if it's bad. I'll leave that up to you. Here's another Carina V in a dark vintage sunburst hue. I like how fluffy it looks, I guess you could say. You got a lot of straight grain, wood grain too. And that also continues on to the back. I've always thought this is one of the nicest hues on the Carinas and easily the best custom color you can find because you can still see a little bit of the Carina popping through, but you still get the exoticness of having the dark border and that headstock. Beautiful. Love that golden cereal too. But that one's a little bit more expensive. And they had another Firebird one over here. I had initially picked this one out because I thought, hey, aren't these supposed to be in a line in the output jack over here, but the one in the mod collection was the same. Good old Joe Bonamassa's got a couple over here and they seem to be laid out, so I'm not sure if that's just a mod they made or if there's some variations in between. And lastly, an Alpine White Sparkle Gibson Custom Excuse me, I didn't realize they did a matching headstock. I just thought White Sparkle sounded cool, but no, that one did get a little bit of extra pizzazz. So that's a perfect spot to end tonight's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.